The Whisper Beneath the Lake. The cottage by the water. The lake had no name. Locals simply called it the Hollow. It lay hidden between folds of misty hills, a perfect mirror of gray sky where nothing ever seemed to move. When Clara Reynolds first saw it, she thought it beautiful. The kind of lonely beauty that hurt to look at for too long. The old cottage stood just above the shore, half buried in ivy, its roof sagging like a tired sigh. It was all she could afford. After her husband Thomas died in the railway accident that spring, she'd sold everything, their London home, his books, the piano he used to play, and taken her 10-year-old son Eli north, hoping distance but dull grief. The landlord had said little when she asked about the lake. "Deep, miss," he'd muttered, "and best left alone." But Clara had smiled politely. She didn't believe in village stories. That first night, as wind brushed the reeds and the house settled with old groans, Eli whispered from his bed, "Mama, someone's singing outside." Clara listened, only heard the water's slow lap against stone. "There's no one, love," she said softly. "Go to sleep." But long after he slept, she thought she could still hear it, faint, far away, a woman's voice humming beneath the water. Morning came pale and cold. Mist clung low over the lake, hiding its edges. Eli was already outside, skipping stones. His laughter echoed strangely, bouncing off the fog. "Don't go too close," Clara called, wrapping her shawl tighter. He turned, smiling. "She says the water's not cold." Clara frowned. "Who does?" "The lady," he said simply, pointing toward the lake. There was no one there, only ripples spreading slowly, as if the lake itself had sighed. That night, when she tucked him in, he whispered again, "She says she used to have a little boy, too." Clara's heart clenched. She thought he was imagining things. Children did after loss. She kissed his forehead, blew out the lamp. Outside, the wind carried a faint melody, low, almost kind. The same tune Thomas used to hum. A week later, Clara went to the village for bread. The shopkeeper, an old woman with clouded eyes, looked uneasy when she mentioned the cottage. "You're staying by the hollow, are you?" Clara nodded. "It's quiet, peaceful." The woman shook her head. "Not quiet, listening. The lake's got a memory, miss. Drowned too many souls to forget." Clara forced a laugh. Clara ran outside, barefoot, calling into the mist. "Who are you?" Only her echo answered, and the faint ripple of water closing over something unseen. The next morning, she searched the cottage. Something inside her refused to stay ignorant. In the attic, she found a small wooden trunk wrapped in an old shawl. Inside were letters, yellow with age. They were written by a woman named Margaret Hale, dated 1823. "The lake calls to him every night," one letter read. "He hears the voices that I cannot. I think it wants him." Another said, "They said my boy drowned, but I still hear him singing beneath the water. They said I should leave, but how can a mother leave her child?" The last letter ended abruptly. "Tomorrow I'll join him." Clara's hands trembled. She closed the trunk, her breath shallow. That night, she dreamed of a woman standing at the water's edge, whispering, "Bring him to me." Days blurred into each other. Eli grew quieter. Sometimes she found him standing at the shore, whispering to the water. Once, she caught him holding a small toy boat, one she'd never seen before. "Where did you get that?" she asked. He smiled faintly. "She gave it to me." The next night, Clara heard splashing. She rushed outside. Eli was wading into the lake, eyes glassy, voice soft. "She says Papa's here," he whispered. Clara plunged into the water after him, dragging him back to shore. The water was freezing, but she swore she felt arms around her. Cold, pulling. When she looked back, she saw a man's face beneath the surface. Thomas's face. Eli fell ill after that night. He barely spoke, staring always toward the window. Clara sat beside him, whispering prayers she no longer believed in. Outside, the fog thickened, swallowing the lake whole. Then came the whisper, soft, gentle, unmistakable. "He doesn't belong with you anymore." Clara turned, heart pounding. The woman from the water stood in the doorway, translucent, dripping, her eyes filled with unbearable sadness. "Who are you?" Clara choked out. The woman's lips moved. "A mother, like you," Clara begged. "Please let him go." The spirit tilted her head. "I waited for mine, The lake keeps what it loves. You cannot take him away." "I'll give you anything." The woman smiled faintly. "Then stay." Wind howled through the cottage. The floor shuddered. Water began seeping through the cracks, rising around Clara's feet. Eli stirred, reaching toward the figure. "She says she can take me to Papa," he whispered. Clara's tears fell freely. "No, my love, stay with me." But the woman's voice, calm and endless as the lake, whispered, "He already is with him." When morning came, the cottage was empty. Villagers found the door open, the room silent. On the lake shore, only footprints remained. Two small, one larger, leading into the water, never returning. The mist hung low that day, heavy with rain. And from far across the lake, someone swore they heard a woman singing. Two voices now, blending softly beneath the surface. Years passed. The cottage rotted, its roof caving in. No one lived there again. Children from the village still dared each other to throw stones into the hollow. Sometimes the ripples answered back. And on certain nights when the moon touched the water just right, you could see them, a woman and a child, standing hand in hand beneath the lake's mirror, smiling up through the stillness. The water never froze there. It whispered instead,